training video, you're going to discover the EDC, Everyday Carry Self-Defense tool that could save your life. This is the Everyday Walking Cane. It's a self-defense walking cane. This one's made by Cane Masters. It's especially made for self-defense. It's extremely durable, extremely strong. You can see what the dimensions are if you click the first link below. But this EDC self-defense tool could save your life. I'm going to show you immediately how to use it. We're going to roll in this bag. We're going to call this the threat. I'm going to make them a little bit taller because I want you to see the basic techniques. I'm going to adjust the angle a little bit. So let's say this is this groin area. From this position, you're holding your hand on your everyday self-defense tool, your walking cane. You can snatch it up right between the legs very quickly, very explosively, very fast. Hello, Joey. It's good to see you. You bring it up between the legs. The second motion from here, immediately throw the other hand on it. You can step in and thrust and create amazing amount of power going through the middle of his body into the soft tissue of his body, his solar plexus, his throat, his face, all for self-defense. Hello, G.R. Beck is in Liverpool, United Kingdom. So we snap it up here, slice in here. You can turn and blast using that hard bar of oak or whatever material your walking cane is made out of, pushing right through the nose, the teeth, the mouth. Catherine says, thank you for your instruction. T. Carlton, good morning. It's good to see you. Snap, thrust, push. You can pull your elbow in, your front hand, and strike with the long part of the cane. You can take the other side and rake in through the soft tissue, the eye, remove the eye into the nose. David's here from Belfast. Hello, David. Pull the teeth out of his mouth. If you like self-defense technique like this, hello, Steve. Steve's in Florida. I'm in Florida. Steve, it's good to see you. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Shane's here. Best regards from Shane. Shane, same to you. Thrust between the legs, simple push. This simple push, when you take a step, will create so much distance, so much power, it's going to stop him in his tracks. It's going to move him back, striking by turning the body, pushing and thrusting. Pull this side, breaking in across the face. These are just some of the basic techniques. I want to show you, this is a question you've asked me a lot this week, is how do you use the walking cane? Now, normally my left hip hurts. Today it's my right hip. I've been moving pumpkins for the pumpkin patch down at the school. It's a fundraiser, and chucking these heavy pumpkins up into the dumpster every day that rot. So my hip is on fire right here. I would put the cane, you're gonna put your cane on the side that's not injured, and you'd move the injured side forward. As you move it forward, you're gonna follow it with the cane. So as you're stepping, we're walking this way, injured side is my right, your cane is on your left, you're gonna step with your right as you bring your cane forward, and they're going to be in line, and then you're gonna bring your strong side up. You could bring it through if you're a little bit stronger, but if you're just getting started, like you just had a knee surgery or hip surgery, or it's a new injury, you would start by, and this is gonna be about 4 inches away from your foot. So you're going to lead with the injured side, the cane follows it, and you step. Now the question becomes, well, how would you use the cane for self-defense if you are leaning on it, if you need to hold it there? Well, if you have one really strong leg, you can still do all these techniques from a standing position. You would put your stronger leg back, and you would lean back on it, creating a little bit of distance. You could strike, you can thrust, you can do it with either hand. You can do this swinging motion, coming off of the shoulder from one side, off of the shoulder from the other side. Angular strikes, you can come down on top, hit him in the head, knock him out, turn off his operating system. If the question is, if you lift your cane up off the ground, what happens if you fall down? Yeah, J.R. Beck says a little bit of hot and cold compression on the hip is gonna help. Thank you. I've also got my thumper, the Theragun. I'm gonna hit with that in a minute. It's just a tight muscle. I just gotta loosen it up. But so from here, my preference and my suggestion for you, because you've also said this to me a lot, those of you who use this cane every single day, that, oh, David says he just had a knee replacement. No one taught him how to use the cane. David, isn't that crazy? I get this question from people who have been using canes. What's the proper way to use it? Either because they, like yourself, you go in for knee replacement, they send you home with a cane and they never tell you, when you start to get up and walk around the house, here's how you use it. A good physio or a good physical therapist here in the States will do that. but they don't all do that. I don't know if it just skips their mind or whatever. Some people walk with two canes. You can use two canes. You can lean on one for balance and strike with the other one. Thrust with the other one. You can bring this up across the body. You can see that by turning your shoulders and hips, you're still in a good, strong position. Here, you can bring this across. And I know some of you are in a wheelchair and you practice using the cane with the wheelchair. So you're not ambulating with it. You're not walking with your cane, but you have your cane with you. Maybe that helps you to get out of the chair, into another chair, or onto another seat. And you have your self-defense, your everyday carry self-defense tool that could save your life, the walking cane, self-defense walking cane. And from a seated position, all these techniques work too. Now, if you have your cane in this reverse grip instead of this grip, it's going to be easier on your wrist. You're going to find that not only will you be able to strike faster with it and stronger when the short side is coming out of your thumb, the crook, but you're also, when you lean against it, ergonomically, it's going to be in a stronger position. See how that kind of comes and makes a straight line from your arm all the way into the floor? When you turn it around, it tends to be back here, and it puts more stress in your wrist. And some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've been walking with a cane for a long time. You do get pain in that wrist. Simply turning it around will relieve a lot of that and make it easier for you to use. Also in this position, you can pop it up here very quickly and have this big fist or knuckle to thrust right into his face, reach up, snatch in to that soft tissue of his body, maybe the shoulder, maybe his neck, maybe straight into his face and rake or pull. And then you can use the backside like an Irishman, Irish stick fighting, coming up here, using your shillelagh, bringing it through, striking, and even blocking if you need to. All while you're holding on to the other cane, or maybe if you don't need the cane to ambulate, you don't need the cane to walk as much, you just have your one cane. But either way you do it, it all works. You just have to modify it. You might be sitting in a chair. You can do all of the strikes from a seated position. I didn't bring the chair over, but they work. And I want you to practice that. I want you to practice all these techniques. So let's go over a brief list. Number one, my favorite, is up between the legs. And if you miss the legs, maybe you hit him in the chin, or his hand is reaching out and you smash that wrist, smash that arm. But it's just this pulling up. That can be done from this grip and from this grip. That's your first one. Number two, I prefer, this is my second favorite of all time, popping it into the front hand while you keep it attached to your hip. From here, you keep it attached to your hip, and then you thrust. And you're going to go low. He's going high, you're going low. You're going to hit him right here and put him straight on the floor. Maybe you want to stick it into his throat. The way you do that is you just change the angle of your strike by this front hand. So from here, pop it into the hand, step and thrust. The third way you can use it is sliding your hand down the front, and you bring it up almost like it's a sword. You can now thrust straight into his face, pull to your shoulder, strike from one side, strike from the other side, maybe go to a knee, go into the hip. Maybe you have to defend against a vicious dog, smashing the snout. But from this position, thrust, striking, angles, thrusting, straight down on top. All of those can be done with two hands on it, strikes, maybe not this thrust, but play around with it. You'll see what works. You can do pretty much all of them with two hands. And anytime you have two hands on it, you have more control. When someone tries to take it from you, the key is locking it against your body. Anywhere you anchor your cane against your body with your back hand, when they grab the tip, you get your other hand on the front, either like this or like this. Either way works. And you're going to make a twisting motion. You're twisting with your hips and your shoulder, and then you push down. He's on the other end. It's going to be like this, and then it's going to go down, and then you're going to stick it right through his throat for self-defense. Another way you can use your cane for self-defense, you're going to turn it around, slide the hand down, and pick it up into this position, or you can pop it up like this. You have this pushing motion, put two hands on it like you're doing push-ups, thrusting through, raking. You can do it like a rifle butt attack or a bayonet thrust, coming up and straight through the body. Now there are many other ways to do it, and you will see that sometimes I'll show you how to do this kind of spinning. And I want you to know that all of this spinning, as I teach, is for you to develop callus on your hands, get good spatial awareness, timing and distance. It's a good cardiovascular workout. It's good for proprioception, but none of that, for me, teaching you, none of that is gonna be for self-defense. Or you can even have it here, and you can do this kind of spinning, where you're holding the shaft, and you're going through, and you're spinning. You can go down, and you can go up, like you would a traditional weapon in martial arts. But again, I'm not teaching these. These will make your strike stronger, but for self-defense, I want you to keep it simple. I don't want you to get into a spinning routine. I don't want you to try to get fancy and dance around. I want you to get in sure-footed, thrust, shove, strike, rip, rifle butt, right into the stomach using your big fist, your big knuckle there. You guys have been awesome. I'll see you in just a little bit. Please give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And if you want a cane,